Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about a variety of different tokens because I have noticed a few things happening within this market. And one of those things is Loom. So for those that are new to the channel and weren't around back in 2020 and 2021, Loom was an OG token that I was actually talking about quite heavily over on Twitter. I was also talking about it on the channel early on. Now, I was actually very bullish on Loom during 2021 up until we seen the roadmap released by the team, and we were in the Telegram, and there was just a lot of there's a lot of negativity happening around that time, and we changed our stance on Loom. We were no longer bullish, we were actually bearish, and it was for a good measure, and hey, it actually worked out very well. Fast forward to today, well, guess what? Loom is now one of the largest movers right now in the market, and we are going to address that. But I did say Loom is giving you a glimpse at how fast this market can change and the moves that could happen too. I look forward to seeing XRP, XLM, and a variety of these other tokens really kind of waking up in a big way, because these are gems, right? Like, as we really kind of look at this space, utility is set to shine. I really do believe that utility is going to be a crucial piece in the next major bull run. But beyond this, let's take a look at Loom. So if we are going off of the bottom back in June of 2022, which was basically a double tap bottom, if you will, going back to June of 2021. Very interesting on Loom. But in over 483 days, Loom was able to go from the bottom of June of 2022 all the way up to roughly almost 40 cents. It did nearly a 12x return in this time. And by the way, this changed very quick. I mean, we're talking about a 1 week view here. Let's go back to the 1 day chart. So it really kind of started on September 10th. That's when this big run really kind of started to begin. Massive move here. Over a 9x return in such a short amount of time. But a lot of people will say that, you know, oh, it's so boring being in the space. This, you know, my token's not moving, or, oh, this token just does this and does that, right? This is exactly why crypto is exciting. You never know when something is going to break out like this. You never know. That's why you need to do your research. You need to understand what you hold. You also have to make sure that you are aware of the risk on what you hold as well. Now, do I think that Loom is a great investment? No, I'm not saying that. I just think that this market is unpredictable and things can happen very quick. And that's why we need to be positioned at all times. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Credible Crypto actually posted something very interesting. And he reposted it, but he's quoting a Bitcoin magazine post here. He's actually quoting himself back in September, where he said BlackRock has applied for 576 ETFs. They have only gotten rejected on one. That's a 99.8% success rate on their ETF applications. And he also mentions around the Bitcoin ETF approval and things like that. He said everyone is stuck on the final deadline in March of 2024. Reality is that is a deadline, not an approval date, and it likely gets approved much sooner. And yeah, it probably does. And here we have Bloomberg analysts are raising spot Bitcoin ETF approval odds to 90% by January 10th. Very interesting. And we do see everyone is stuck on the final deadline in March of 2024. Reality is that that is a deadline, not an approval date, and it's likely to get approved much sooner. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't have another 6 months to accumulate before some post-halving run up into 2025. Get positioned before the catalyst that everyone is waiting for, or get left behind. And listen, even if we do have another 6 months, because I personally believe that we don't, but maybe even we do, right? Anyone can be wrong in this game. It doesn't matter who you are. Even if we have another 6 months, it could very well be 6 months of us just going sideways. We don't have to create lower lows. We could just stay sideways. But now is the best time to be looking at this space. I do think that a lot of people will get left behind simply because they are ignorant, right? Like they don't want to face the facts that, we have seen a historical downtrend in this market. Bearish event after bearish event. 2022 was one of the worst times in this market. I mean, everyone was calling for sub 15K, 10K Bitcoin, 5K Bitcoin. And it reminded me of March of 2020. But this time around, during the FTX implosion, we already seen Luna implode. And we seen massive liquidations. It was peak bearishness. And everyone was still calling for lows. And now people are still refusing to say, yeah, this market, it's still going lower. It's not going to have any major move to the upside. I said, going back to October 6th, and this is still clear today, if we go over here to Google Trends, nothing has changed. Interest is dead. And by the way, for those that don't understand, this is measured in 100 being the most amount of interest and 0 being the least. Right now, we're literally at 7. I said, nobody cares about crypto right now, and that's just facts. Be proud that you do when 99% of the world doesn't, because 99% of the world doesn't care about crypto right now. They don't. They are distracted by so much more, things that are being force-fed to them right now on mainstream media, or maybe they're still distracted by, oh, let me just scroll through TikTok endlessly and not research anything that's worth, researching. Because that's what 99% of the world does. They don't care about anything besides living in their fantasy land. Right now, you should be doing the research. Right now, you should be looking into cryptocurrency. Right now, you should be, accumulating incredible gem opportunities, because I do think that a lot of these tokens are going to experience something like Loom here. And, this is a massive gain in such a short amount of time. XRP, right? Going off the lows. Did about roughly a 225% return. This is practically nothing in the world of crypto. XLM, 178, almost 179%. XDC, roughly 365%. HBAR, 176%. Casper, 187%. These are minuscule gains versus what we actually see when things really flip bullish. And what's crazy about the XRP gain is we're talking about from the lows to the top when we've seen the decision within the SEC lawsuit. And look at where XRP is back down to, the demand zone, before we even, push to almost 90 some cents. So, think about this right now. Like, we have incredible opportunities staring us right in the face, yet most people don't want to take advantage of this. And remember, like, Loom doesn't have incredible fundamentals. Like, this whole move, this wasn't some major partnership. This wasn't some major listing. This is literally market makers doing what market makers do. When you least expect it, that's when moves like this will happen. And I keep telling people that, yet a lot of people don't want to listen. I said over on Twitter back in September, the beginning of September, I made a list talking about all of these incredible assets in the space, right? And what I said was, I always like to look at this market from a zoomed out perspective. We know every global organization is talking about implementing faster payment systems built upon next generation technology. Almost every document and every experiment mentions DOT, blockchain, digital assets, etc. The future is so damn bright. Like, we're talking about long term here, but short term, I do think that this space is going to wake up in a big way. And a lot of these utility gems, these are blue chips that could very well experience massive gains in a very short amount of time. And I did outline a lot of these tokens and a lot of these projects and a lot of these companies that are within this space building, showing up every single damn day, making a ton of noise. And I even said, like, as all of these major players are tapped in, this is why I'm heavily focused on utility giants. Even if you don't hold the assets, it's always good to be aware of this information to realize how early you are. But outside of this, just going off the market itself, let's go back to November of 2021. Look at some of the market caps of these tokens. I mean, this is where Bitcoin had roughly a $1.2 trillion market cap. Ethereum had almost a $550 billion market cap. XRP had almost a $56 billion market cap. Dogecoin, $34.7 billion. That's not even close to its all-time highs, which was almost $100 billion in market cap. But the top 15 had $15.7 billion in market cap. When we put this into perspective on where we're at now, the top 15 has a market cap of $4.5 billion. And again, this time in the market was like peak. This was peak. And imagine how much money is going to flow through the space in the next major cycle with all the information and all the substance that we have seen in this year alone. I think that we are going to really overshadow the moves that we've seen back in 2021. But beyond this, like, imagine $15.7 billion in market cap, like the top 15. Top 15, like $15.7 billion in market cap, when we are seeing trillions flowing into crypto, it's a small amount of money. And I say this because, like, even just one of these tokens seeing that, excluding XRP, of course, because XRP today we already know is at $26 billion in market cap. But Casper, for example, that's a 44x return. If we had $15.7 billion in market cap, $1.38. HBAR, it's roughly a 900% gain, 47 cents. And do I think that HBAR could see, you know, a lot higher gain? Yeah, sure, I do. But I'm just saying, I'm going off of $15.7 billion. XDC at 22x, $1.13. Even XLM, 437%, 57 cents. Like, this is just going off of the top 15. And this is going off of the top 15 back in 2021. We usually know, right, the pattern that from bull cycle to bull cycle, we see a lot of these figures change drastically. A lot of people expect the total market cap, because the total market cap during this time was $3 trillion. A lot of people are expecting the market cap of crypto to be $5 to $7 trillion. That means that the top 15, this figure here, could very well start at anywhere between $20 to $30 billion. That's crazy to think about. And again, this is why I say you need to make sure that you are focused heavily in this space. Don't turn a blind eye to fundamentals when you are seeing coins with zero fundamentals and zero updates pushing the price like this. Because when we are actually in a bull run and when things really start to wake up, these percentage gains and, you know, what some of these coins do, I know that it's shocking, but this is normal. When we are in a bull cycle, like, things can change drastically. Go back all the way to March of 2020 to the highs that even XRP, which was heavily suppressed at this time, look at the gains that XRP still accomplished. Over an 1,800% gain. That's very significant. HBAR, for example, during this time, so HBAR bottomed in January of 2020. If you were able to buy here, which was an incredible opportunity, I did not get the chance to, but this did over a 6,172% gain, over a 60x return. XLM during this time also had an incredible gain. Going off the March of 2020 lows to the top, this thing did over a 29x return, almost a 30x. XDC, I think that this one actually has better price data. So going all the way back to the March 2020 lows. So I'm not going to go off of this candle wick. Looks more of like a scam wick back there. I'm going to go off of where most of the bottom is. This thing did a massive 44,000% run up, a 400 and near 50x return. And Casper never experienced a bull run, which is also why I think that Casper is going to be a dark horse in this space and pull a major run up in this market. I'm actually looking at Casper becoming an ADA-like asset in this next run-up and really shocking the whole world. But again, that's me speculating and betting on, you know, something that we don't know is going to happen. But I do see Casper pulling $1 plus in price, at least in my opinion. But beyond this, like, these coins, when they wake up and when we are in a bull run, things can change fast. And the gains that we see could make a lot of people extremely wealthy. But that is why I think that everyone should be looking at this space as a zoomed out viewpoint, because we know interest is dead. Nobody cares about crypto. Beyond this, there are so many factors that could play out that can lead to a massive catalyst behind crypto really waking up in a huge way. And by the way, when we see interest like this, even if we go to, let's do a custom time frame. Let's go all the way back to, let's go, we'll say 2010, right? 2010 to now. So you could see the market cycles. Now, interest here in January of 2018 versus where we were at back in May of 2021, it was slightly a little bit different, but you could see the major lead up. Like right now, as we look at where crypto is, you know, I would argue that we are either, you know, right around the December of 2019 timeframe, where we will see, you know, a major run up in the market eventually. And when I say eventually, you know, we could be just a few months out before we start to see the market wake up in a massive way. And I'm not expecting a March of 2020, you know, bottom or crash or anything like that. I've seen far too many people, you know, saying, oh, what about the Black Swan event? What about, you know, the one last major leg down? And it's just like, we don't need to repeat March of 2020. That's unprecedented events. That's events that, you know, are truly a once in a lifetime opportunity. Now, again, do I think that we could see a crash? Do I think that we could see, you know, one last, you know, run of the lows? Sure. But I'm not expecting us to see, you know, 10K Bitcoin or anything like that. In fact, I'm not even expecting sub 20K. Could it happen? 100%, but I'm not expecting it. In fact, I'm actually expecting the opposite. I think that far too many people are betting on crypto crashing yet again and having another opportunity and having 6+ months of accumulation. I'm actually betting against it, and I think that we will see a major run up in the market sooner than, you know, what most people are expecting. But hey, that's my thought process. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.